Part 75. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu Shui. Chapter 741. Even though the surface of the armor is full of scars, those subtle inscriptions can't deceive people. It is very different from the style of the 6th Heavenly Court period. There is no such craftsmanship in the Heavenly Courts above the 6th Heavenly Court period. People from the 8th or 7th Heavenly Court period have been here. Thinking of this, Lu Yu frowned. He didn't expect that someone had been here before him. A sword mark and a set of armor were left behind. The things are here, but where are the people? Did they disappear? That's not right. If someone had been here in the 8th or 7th Heavenly Court period, then I should know something. Lu Yu's expression changed. He really wanted to know who the owner of the set of armor was, but there was no trace to indicate anything. Is it the human emperor? Did the human emperor come here in the past? Lu Yu couldn't help guessing in his heart, but there was no evidence to prove anything. This set of armor has lost its spirituality, and he can't see much. Shaking his head, Lu Yu put the armor away. He was observing the sword marks, trying to find a little breath of Fuxi sword. If it was left by the human emperor, then it must be a sword slashed with Fuxi sword. If it was true, then holding Fuxi sword, he would definitely feel something. But what disappointed Lu Yu was that there was nothing. Strange, could it be that during the 7th Heavenly Court period, some beings had already noticed the existence of the old world? Lu Yu said to himself. After staying here for a while, Lu Yu left. There was nothing to find, so there was no need to continue wasting time here. Of course, Lu Yu took the armor away. Keep it on your body, maybe there will be some surprises in the future. Continue to look for the entrance. Lu Yu didn't know how long he had been in this universe. Exploring one galaxy after another, Lu Yu almost went through the entire universe. During this period, he found many chaotic areas that matched his ideas, and after noting them down, he left quickly. And on this day, Lu Yu finally stopped. In front of him was a dark cave entrance. Entrance. This is probably the entrance that he entered here according to the established route. What Lu Yu didn't expect was that here, the cave entrance was one way. Yes, one way. You can only come out, you can't go in at all. Damn. There was only one word in Lu Yu's mind, damn. After a moment of silence, he chose to look for the exit. This search was incredible. After searching, Lu Yu found that this old world, there is no exit at all. Sitting on an asteroid, Lu Yu looked up at the sky, a little thoughtful. Is this God's will? Not leaving a way out for yourself at all, does this mean that you have to cultivate to the top level and then forcefully break the world barrier to leave? Very good, I understand. With a sigh, Lu Yu left here and found the chaotic area he had marked before. Here, he will try to continue to break through the realm. There are 15 levels of system achievements, and he has reached the 9th level. In other words, there are 6 more realms waiting for him. Lu Yu calculated carefully and was actually a little confused. He is currently in the Tai realm. Further on, Taishu, Taishi, Ultimate, Supreme. These are only 4 realms. Are there still 2 realms missing? The problem is, as far as I know, I only know these 4 realms. Further on, is the road cut off? Lu Yu frowned. But after thinking for a moment, he shook his head. Since the system says there is, then there must be. I am entangled so much now, it is better to reach the 14th realm first. Calming down his mind, Lu Yu took out countless star cores. He had made sufficient preparations when he came, so there was no shortage of star cores. At present, Lu Yu entered the state of cultivation. Boom. In the chaotic area, all laws are under the control of Lu Yu. At this moment, he started to cultivate, and the speed of absorbing the power of the star source was almost beyond imagination. In this case, time passed. Only 1 month had passed, and Lu Yu's breath soared. Instantly surpassed the limit of Tai realm and reached Taisha realm. This is very simple for Lu Yu. He had already reached the double taboos of Tai, and the breakthrough at this moment was a natural outcome. Taking a deep breath, Lu Yu once again entered the state of cultivation. What he was going to attack now was the double taboo field of Taisha realm. Countless star cores sank and floated around Lu Yu, and he practiced quietly. This time, half a year passed in a flash. On this day, the golden light enveloped Lu Yu's realm and stepped into the double taboo field of Taisha realm. After briefly feeling the power that seemed to explode all over his body, Lu Yu once again devoted himself to cultivation. After a short period of time, he broke through to Taishi realm. Next, it was to attack the taboo field of Taishi realm. This time it took a long time, so long that Lu Yu didn't know how much time had passed. Finally, on this day, he broke through to the taboo field of Taishi realm. The infusion of system power allowed Lu Yu to step into the taboo of the flesh again. The double taboo field of Taishi realm. With a punch, Lu Yu tore the space of the galaxy. The third realm of Tai, I have already reached the pinnacle. The next realm, the ultimate. Chapter 0561 The way of the ultimate realm will one day become supreme. The next realm, the ultimate. Compared with the 3 realms of Taisha, the ultimate realm is obviously a new realm for Lu Yu. This time he finally felt a little resistance and was groping. In this state, Lu Yu has completely ignored the passage of time. 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, or 20 years have passed. Lu Yu has no idea how long it has been, and he has never worried about this problem. The time here is static relative to the outside world. So, you can try it with confidence. The old man said that the reason why the ultimate realm is the ultimate. It is because the creatures who can reach this realm are basically no longer in the category of warriors. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Shui. Chapter 742. Entered a whole new field. And in the process of constant attempts, Lu Yu also understood. How difficult is this ultimate state? In this realm, warriors have many paths to take. As the old man said, in his ultimate state, he followed the Gozi idea. In the end, supreme achievement was achieved. There are other common 5 elements, such as metal, wood, water, fire, earth, and so on. But Lu Yu was a little at a loss. He didn't know which way was more suitable for him. After many attempts, they all ended in death. The body collapsed and was strangled by an invisible force. But fortunately, as a forbidden creature, Lu Yu will not be truly killed. But even so, he still didn't know which path was better. He had no choice but to sit there and keep thinking about what he wanted to try. It is in this process that time flies. And finally on this day, Lu Yu opened his eyes. His cloudy eyes quickly became clear. The 5 elements Tao, the Yin and Yang Tao, even the Chaos Tao, and all the ways of heaven and earth, in essence, are just Tao, and these are all given by the rules, but the question is, why should I be limited to the rules? Lu Yu murmured to himself, his eyes bursting with light. Tao itself is just a concept. It does not refer to anything with practical significance. Everything is given to it by us humans later on. Then why should I be limited to the Tao that already exists in these worlds? My way is myself. The forbidden way, the way of my true self. Lu Yu laughed and was very happy. In the past period of time, he has fallen into the state of being obsessed with the authorities. It wasn't until I jumped out that I was shocked to find out. I am an accident myself, why should I limit myself to this? Therefore, Lu Yu no longer hesitated. He still takes himself as the way and achieves the ultimate way. On this day, the entire old world universe was in turmoil. A breath that seemed to destroy the entire universe again spread out. And among them, there are countless rules belonging to Lu Yu. But here in Lu Yu, his body is disintegrating. Turned into the power of countless rules, spread throughout the universe. These rules are Lu Yu's essence. It is his way. Now, Lu Yu is trying to engrave his own way in this universe. Success. Lu Yu succeeded easily. This universe has long been a deserted land. Lu Yu easily carved his way into the chaotic area of this universe. Now, this chaotic area completely belongs to Lu Yu. Next, he tried to inscribe his own way in other spaces that had not yet been completely destroyed. Only this time, resistance arose. A black eye appeared, staring at Lu Yu. You're touching a real taboo, and it's something you can't control. The words with black eyes made Lu Yu laugh. Did you also create this universe? Well, now it belongs to me. As he spoke, Lu Yu smashed his black eyes into pieces, and then continued to carve his own path into the space. But compared to the chaotic area, Lu Yu's speed was much slower. In this space that has not yet been destroyed, there are still traces left by the strange source. If Lu Yu wants to occupy this place, he must first erase the traces left by the opponent. This is very time-consuming, especially now that Lu Yu's realm itself is only the ultimate realm. After trying for a moment, Lu Yu stopped. There is no need to do this now. Improve your realm first, and wait until your realm reaches a certain level. It would naturally be much easier to erase the traces it left behind. Therefore, Lu Yu calmed down and started practicing again. After reaching the ultimate level of cultivation, Lu Yu almost no longer needs the star core. He began to temper his body and temper his way. In fact, at this point, Lu Yu already understood something. The journey of a warrior begins with body training and ends with the ultimate. The things these two realms do are too similar. The initial state of a warrior, the body refining state, requires tempering one's body and enhancing physical strength. And now, in the ultimate realm, Lu Yu is also tempering himself. It's just a matter of replacing the physical body with the Tao. In other words, the realm before the ultimate was actually just a process of tempering the body. Only the ultimate realm has jumped in levels. From the flesh to the Tao. Now, with Lu Yu tempering the Tao in his body. Around him, Tao Zi condensed a golden sledgehammer, which kept falling on him. Every time it falls, the terrifying fluctuations shatter countless spaces. The principles of strange origin in those engraved spaces are fading away. Black eyes stared at Lu Yu indifferently without saying a word. Under such circumstances, Lu Yu only felt that the concept of time seemed to have no effect on him at all. Space is dimming and galaxies are changing. The entire universe seems to have passed countless millions of years. The aura on Lu Yu's body became increasingly calm. The golden sledgehammer is still swinging, but the color is getting brighter. As for Lu Yu, there are countless Taoist masters on his body. He opened his eyes again. This time, the aura began to surge. Boom! Lu Yu stood up. The universe of billions of light years is collapsing. Countless galaxies are disappearing. The golden hammer turned into the Dao and entered Lu Yu's body, and his whole body was bursting with brilliant light. At this moment, the light illuminated the entire universe. Nothing was visible. Only the brilliant light pierced everything. At this moment, the universe seemed to be reborn. The vibrant power of the Dao enveloped everything, and even green appeared on some barren planets. The dead galaxies were driven by a great force. The galaxies were moving, the stars, and even the planets were moving. The universe seemed to come alive. Lu Yu was in the middle of all the light, and his breath was rising. He reached the limit of the ultimate realm. Then, he stepped into the forbidden realm. At this moment, the feeling of controlling all the Dao flowed through his body. The next moment, the power of the system descended. Lu Yu's body turned into countless light particles and accepted the baptism of the system power. Then, the body was reorganized. Feeling the power of the Dao flowing through his body, Lu Yu closed his eyes and sat down. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu. Chapter 743. This time passed faster. During the time when Lu Yu closed his eyes and broke through, the entire universe was in motion. Some galaxies that had not yet been completely destroyed had vitality. The movement of stars brought heat, making the stars shine again. And light and heat gave birth to life. On an ordinary galaxy in the old universe, green spread. From a small single-celled organism to a reptile, life achieved a great leap. Later, amphibians appeared and mammals were born. On the vast grassland, an orangutan looked at the starry sky. It was on this day that a brilliant light burst out in the universe. A power that was almost supreme was born. Years passed and the stars changed, and one day, the supreme achievement. Chapter 0562, Some Resistance, Mercy. Surpass everything, is the supreme. This is the true pinnacle of the warrior's road, the highest leap in the level of life. At this moment, Lu Yu suddenly felt that he had the power to open up everything. The golden divine light shone on his body, the power of law emerged, and the chaotic mist blurred his figure. At this moment, Lu Yu seemed to have become the master of the entire universe. He came out, and with a bang, he engraved his own Dao rules on a large area of space. It was no longer difficult to erase the Dao rules left by the weird source. Black eyes emerged, staring at Lu Yu coldly. You'd better stop. Boom. Without saying a word, Lu Yu destroyed the black eyes. This time, the opponent did not condense again. Lu Yu used his own Dao to force the opponent out of this space. Because, this space, in essence, already belongs to him. He made a move again, and another piece of space was engraved with Lu Yu's Dao rules. He traveled through the entire universe, adding his own Dao rules to all places that could be perceived. With the fall of the last Dao rule, the entire universe seemed to be completely different. The chaotic area began to evolve in Lu Yu's Dao rules and turned into pieces of galaxies. The dust of the galaxy gathers and attracts each other to become stars. And these stars are combined into different galaxies. Everything seems to be getting better. Lu Yu left here again. He came to the place where he first engraved the Dao. There are already creatures there. It is a kind of ape. After watching quietly for several days, Lu Yu also left. He did not choose to interfere with these lives. This old universe is regaining vitality. It may evolve into a new world in the future. No one can say. Returning to the place of retreat at the beginning, Lu Yu sat down again. He is now in the supreme realm and is trying to break through to a higher realm. Lu Yu didn't know how many years had passed while sitting and breaking through. The golden light enveloped the entire universe. Lu Yu broke through to the double forbidden area of the supreme realm. He was a little happy in his heart. He had reached the 13th realm marked by the system. Without much hesitation, Lu Yu continued to try to break through to a higher realm. This time, I don't know how many years have passed. Lu Yu seemed to have turned into a stone statue in the long river of time, and was frozen in place. Only around him, the Tao was evolving and became a life-forbidden zone. In such a long time, the planet where life was born was also evolving rapidly. From apes, to the Stone Age, the Bronze Age, and even the Steam Age and the Information Age. The speed of civilization evolution is always beyond imagination. Until the first rocket was launched on that planet, marking the beginning of the space age. In this case, Perhaps hundreds of years have passed, and life has first noticed that there is a mysterious area in it. A small interstellar spacecraft is heading there. They approached the area and tried to launch various probes, but they all failed in the end. And when they finally entered it, a wave of condensed time appeared. The entire universe was still at this moment. Lu Yu opened his eyes and looked at the three creatures in front of him with a little surprise. Are these creatures born in this universe? Do they already have the ability to travel between stars? Lu Yu was a little surprised. But he didn't care too much, but stood up. His realm, after such a long time, still didn't break through. He just took half a step above the supreme realm, and he couldn't really enter the next realm. This made Lu Yu very confused. Because he couldn't find where the road was. If it weren't for the system marking, this was only the 13th realm. Perhaps, Lu Yu would think this was the last realm. But when he got here, Lu Yu really felt the resistance. If he wanted to break through again, he lacked something. These things Lu Yu could sense were not in this universe. He could only take half a step, and he was exhausted. Therefore, he didn't plan to continue trying like this. I don't know how long I have been in this universe. Maybe it's time to go back. Lu Yu said to himself. He has been in this universe for too long, so long that he has lost the concept of time and can't judge how long the current time has passed. Thinking carefully, I miss Xiaoling and the others a little bit. Lu Yu smiled and moved. He appeared at the entrance, looked at the cave, and took a step forward. The whole universe seemed to tremble. Lu Yu forcibly reversed the process and entered the entrance. Passing through the black curtain, he appeared on an ancient bluestone road. After a slight hesitation, Lu Yu took another step forward. In an instant, the law of the road twisted, and Lu Yu appeared on the other side of the ancient bluestone road. A smile appeared on his face. Sure enough, if I had the strength to walk this road at the beginning, it would be impossible to reach the end in less than 10 years. Lu Yu breathed a sigh of relief. His choice was right. If I really took this road, I might have no way back when I was halfway there. Feeling slightly happy in his heart, Lu Yu left the ancient road. He appeared in the first heaven, and then left and appeared in the first great wall. As soon as Lu Yu appeared, something weird attacked him immediately. But Lu Yu did not pay attention to these weirdnesses, he was observing his surroundings. What made him feel relieved was that the overall condition of the first Great Wall remained basically the same as when he left. This also meant that his judgment at the time was correct. The speed of time in the old world, compared to the outside world, is 0. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu. Chapter 744. No matter how much time passes in the old world, the outside world is still at that moment. This is the best news for Lu Yu. Otherwise, even if you have completed all the achievements of the system, it will be meaningless if the universe is destroyed after you come out. But now it seems that he is still fine. Everything remains as it was when he left. It's just that I am no longer the young man I used to be. Such a long time passed in the old world, so long that Lu Yu didn't even know how long it had passed. 10,000 years, 20,000 years? Or should we say millions of years? Even epoch? Lu Yu couldn't tell clearly, but it didn't matter. Xiaoling and the others are fine. Between steps, Lu Yu started. The speed is beyond imagination. Taking one step forward, he appeared on the second Great Wall. A strange giant noticed Lu Yu and took action against him. But Lu Yu just glanced at the other party. Boom! In an instant, the strange giant collapsed into countless black mist and was obliterated. Lu Yu has already taken another half step towards the supreme realm. What's more, he is a double taboo creature. In his eyes, the strange giant is nothing more than an ant. Continuing to move forward, Lu Yu finally arrived at the edge of the Luna Great Wall, the abyss area after killing several strange giants along the way. Lu Yu silently stared at the abyss without making a sound. Finally, a figure appeared in the abyss. Show mercy. Chapter 0563. It turned out to be him, the yellowed book. Show mercy. A figure appeared, but the figure could not be seen clearly. This was one of the self-proclaimed ones in the abyss. He looked at Lu Yu with some disbelief. It is really unimaginable that the boy who just wanted to crush him would grow to this point. That kind of breath almost makes me suffocate. Lu Yu looked at the person in front of him with calm eyes. There was a slight smile on his face. Here, Lu Yu paused deliberately. It is said that it is never too late for a gentleman to take revenge. Although he had already made a small retribution before, Lu Yu thought that maybe he could still retaliate. Surprised, Lu Yu smiled. The other party fell silent. What do you want to do? We have already agreed to cancel it. Nothing, I just came over to see a few of you. With that said, Lu Yu looked into the abyss. Several other figures also appeared. They all looked at Lu Yu with trembling eyes. No one expected that the young boy would grow to this point. Enough to rival or even surpass myself and others. This is almost unbelievable. You know, how long has it been? Just a few years. Looking at the terrified people opposite, Lu Yu smiled and spoke out. It's okay if you don't want to liquidate, but I have some questions to ask you. Please tell me. The figure spoke immediately, and he felt relieved. If nothing else, I was afraid that Lu Yu would really want to liquidate. That's when it's really troublesome. After hearing this, Lu Yu nodded. How long has it been since I last left? Lu Yu still had to make sure again. After hearing his words, the figure quickly spoke out. Less than half a month. Less than half a month. Very good. Just like what I thought. The fact that I left was only half a month. After entering the old world, all time stopped relative to itself. Feeling relieved, Lu Yu nodded and left without saying anything. Several self-styled people breathed a sigh of relief. They looked at Lu Yu's back with some fear. His strength has grown too fast. Maybe he can survive in this era. There is no need to think too much. If it is only in this realm, even if he steps into the supreme realm, it will be useless. In the abyss, it became quiet again. At the Great Wall of the Moon, Lu Yu's figure appeared here. Outside the Great Wall, several strange giants are attacking. Boom! Lu Yu casually dropped his palm, and in an instant, those strange giants turned into black mist and disappeared. All the weirdness outside the entire moon god wall disappeared in an instant. Seeing this scene, everyone on the Great Wall looked at Lu Yu's figure outside the Great Wall. The goddess Xiantian is among them. He looked at Lu Yu with a look of disbelief. Human Emperor. Goddess Xiantian quickly approached Lu Yu. But before she even got close, she realized something. What state are you in now? Goddess Xiantian felt the almost transcendent power of Tao in Lu Yu and was amazed. Coupled with the weird tricks Lu Yu had just used to kill all with one hand, Xiantian goddess became excited. Human Emperor, you must have regained your former strength, right? Lu Yu. He shook his head. Let me reiterate, I am really not the Human Emperor. The Human Emperor has disappeared long ago, Lu Yu said calmly. With his current strength, he is no longer afraid of the Xiantian goddess. Not worrying that the other party would strike him with a sword at any time, Lu Yu certainly said it boldly. In response, Goddess Xiantian snorted coldly. Human Emperor, it's meaningless if you still lie to me. I feel this is quite boring, Lu Yu said. The goddess of Xiantian laughed. No matter if it's interesting or not, Emperor Ren, you are back, and now all problems should be solved. Maybe, Lu Yu said. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yun Zhong Mu Shui. Chapter 745. He wasn't sure if he really had the ability to solve all this. At least for now, if it's just a weird giant, the Luna Great Wall can no longer be breached. With him in charge, those strange giants are no different from ants. You stay here for a while longer, and I'll go back first. Lu Yu said. Goddess Xiantian nodded when she heard this. Okay, you have to pick up my shift then. Lu Yu nodded and left here. After crossing the Great Wall, Lu Yu headed towards Orion College. In fact, I have not been away from this world for a long time, only half a month. But for me, tens of millions of years have passed. Xiao Ling's face seemed to be blurred in the years of the old world. Lu Yu couldn't wait to see her. With one step forward, the stars flowed backwards, and Lu Yu appeared at Orion College. In the blink of an eye, the stars changed, and he had already stepped into the palace. On the sofa in the living room, Dorola is eating snacks. Seeing Lu Yu suddenly appear, she froze on the spot with her hand still in the snack bag. Lu Yu. Duolala rubbed her eyes. Lu Yu smiled and walked over and touched her head. Yes, it's me. Wow. Lu Yu, you came back so quickly this time. Sister Xiaoling even told me today that it will definitely take a long time for you to come back this time. Duolala hugged Lu Yu happily. Lu Yu was somewhat emotional. In fact, Xiaoling was really right. This trip was really long. Sitting quietly on the sofa and chatting with Duolala, Lu Yu waited for Lu Ling to finish class. 2 hours later, a girl's voice appeared. Hey, I'm telling you, I'm going to book a room with my girlfriend tonight. Hey, brother, why are you here? Lu Ling looked at Lu Yu sitting on the sofa and was speechless. Lu Yu had a playful smile on his face. Are you planning to go out with your girlfriend tonight? Lu Ling. Brother, can't we get a room and play cards? Lu Ling blinked, and Lu Yu gave her a sharp look. If you don't study hard, you'll do this every day. How could I not study hard? Now those people from the 4th level colleges are no match for me. Lu Ling protested dissatisfied. Lu Yu took a look and saw that this little girl had already reached the Star Master level. Good guy, the resources I saved before were not in vain. That's right, you ask the teacher for 2 days off, and my brother will take you to practice alone during these 2 days. Metal combat. Definitely a physical fight. Okay, okay. Brother, you are the best. Lu Ling hugged Lu Yu happily. Night. Brother, please be gentle. Brother. You are so awesome. Oh my god, I can't take it anymore. Training room. Lu Ling lay on the ground, crying and begging Lu Yu for mercy. Lu Yu had a smile on his face. The little girl dares to fight on the same level as herself? Regardless of the fact that his realm is much higher than hers, he is already a double taboo at the Star Lord level, or even before the Star Lord level. How could Xiaoling be his opponent? After cleaning up Lu Ling, Lu Yu patted her head. Okay, it's getting late, go to bed, your brother has something else to do. Dating Elder Hongfei. What are you thinking about at a young age? After Lu Yu drove Lu Ling away, he took one step forward and appeared next to the old man's hut. In the hut, the old man was completely unaware of Lu Yu's arrival. He was holding a yellowish book in his hand and was looking at it with relish. While reading, he was flipping through it with his fingers wet with saliva. Exciting and exciting. This is so beautiful. Good guy, is it popular to read this kind of villain book outside the universe now? It's really good. Hey. This plot is amazing. The old man didn't even dare to play like this back then. The old man kept turning the pages as he spoke. Lu Yu stood behind him, remained silent for a long time, and finally patted his shoulder with his hand. Old man, seeing too much of this kind of thing is not good for your health. Chapter 0564. The more I look at it, the more imaginary it becomes. Where is my doll? Old man, seeing too much of this kind of thing is not good for your health. Lu Yu reminded him with great concern. This shocked the old man. When he turned around and saw that it was Lu Yu, he calmly put the yellowed book away. Ahem, why are you so mysterious now? The old man coughed. Lu Yu had a meaningful smile on his face. It doesn't matter if you are ghosting. I'm just curious, old man, what did you just look at? The color seems a little off. Good boy. Old man, do you have to care about everything I read now? Okay, I admit it. That book is about how to treat kidney deficiency and how to make people more deficiency. That's fine. The old man spread his hands. Lu Yu's eyelids twitched immediately. This description is really great. The more I look at it, the more imaginary it becomes. Well, that's it. Lu Yu smiled and stopped worrying about this matter. Otherwise, the old man might really jump on him when the time comes. Seeing that Lu Yu did not continue to ask, the old man was slightly relieved, but he soon noticed something was wrong. Wait a minute, how did you get in without me to pick you up, to dig a hole? The old man jumped up before he finished speaking. Then, he stared at Lu Yu and kept talking. What the hell? What the hell? What the hell, DJ? This hidden thing has become supreme. The old man's eyes almost popped out. How long have they been apart? Half a month. Lu Yu, this bastard, directly stepped into the supreme from the Tai realm. And judging from this aura, he is probably not his opponent. Seeing the old man's surprised look, Lu Yu shook his head and smiled. I found the old world. Found it? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Shui. Chapter 746. The old man was stunned for a moment, then suddenly realized. He was threatened by a strange source before, and Lu Yu directly destroyed his consciousness. I don't know what happened next. What I never expected was that this kid actually found him. Then what? The old man asked. Lu Yu spread his hands. The old world does exist. I found a new way to enter it. Find another way? The old man was stunned. How can we find another way? Seeing the old man's curious eyes, Lu Yu explained his method of entering the old world. After hearing this, the old man couldn't help but nodded. This is indeed go. It's such a long road. Fortunately, you jumped down, but I'm still curious. How did you become supreme in such a short time? Seeing the old man's confused eyes, Lu Yu smiled, and then continued to explain his journey in the old world. Half an hour later, the old man laughed and patted Lu Yu on the shoulder. Okay. That's great. I admire you very much for being a Godiao. You are indeed the genius I value. With you here, the strange destruction of the universe is just around the corner. Lu Yu. What's wrong? Isn't it just right around the corner? The old man looked a little confused. Lu Yu. You are right, that's what you mean. Ha ha ha, that's not true. It's self-deprecating to say that my level of using idioms has already made me a monk halfway, the old man continued. Lu Yu also nodded one after another. Whatever the old man says now, it's all right. Anyway, he has big fists, so no one else dares to refute whatever he says. Good. Very good. A satisfied smile appeared on Lu Yu's face. But while the old man was talking, he quickly stopped. Boy Lu, I always feel that you have forgotten something. Forgot something? Lu Yu was stunned. What? Where's the old man's inflatable doll? The old man stared at Lu Yu. If I remember correctly, Your boy said that you wanted me to bring me a doll, right? Lu Yu. What a big deal. Let's go. Let's go now. Lu Yu didn't say much and left here with the old man. A few minutes later, Lu Yu and the old man appeared on a planet. Boom. Terror is coming. In an instant, the Star Master of that planet appeared directly in front of Lu Yu and the old man. At this moment, the Star Master of this high-level planet looked a little confused. I was clearly drinking at home just now, why did I go directly to outer space now? The key is, who are these two people in front of me? This Star Master is not a fool. As a strong man who returns to his original state, he reacted instantly. Damn it, I met a ruthless person. In an instant, the Star Lord knelt down. Seniors, what's the matter with? The Star Lord lowered his head and said, his words a bit awkward. As a strong person in the Giwan realm, he dare not say how strong he is, but at least, we can be considered a local emperor in the entire galaxy, right? But just like that, he was transferred to another star without knowing it. This realm is at least the existence of the three realms of Taza. Seeing this Star Master, although Lu Yu's expression was calm, these words were a little hard to say. So menacing, come here to ask you for an inflatable doll? Lu Yu's face turned slightly red. But the old man didn't know so much. I heard that your planet is rich in cutting-edge products that are popular in the entire universe. Cutting-edge product? The Star Lord was stunned. To be honest, he was a little confused. After thinking about it carefully, apart from being rich in dolls and famous for its quality and workmanship, my planet seems to have nothing else. Are you talking about an inflatable doll? Yes. It's a doll. The old man's eyes lit up. When the Star Master heard this, he was completely confused. This. Senior, do you want an inflatable doll? Finally, the Star Lord looked up. After seeing the old man's face, he was stunned again. He just thought it was Lu Yu next to him who was talking to him, but he didn't expect it to be an old man. Old man? The old man wants an inflatable doll? This Star Lord's expression was a little dazed. But before he could think about it, a yellowed book was thrown in front of him. Ahem, let the old man make one according to the template of the heroine in this book, you know. As he spoke, the old man smashed an uninhabited planet next to him with one finger. Otherwise, this is the consequence, understand? I understand. The Star Lord nodded quickly, and then bravely invited Lu Yu and the old man to come down as guests. Finally, after an hour, the old man got a sealed package. Senior, this is the doll you want, all according to your requirements, the Star Master said cautiously. After the new understanding, he was already quite relieved. It's just that I'm still a little confused. I proposed to deliver the goods confidentially, but the person in front of me said that I didn't need it. What's the point of keeping the secret? Not everyone has it, so I, the old man, want to try it out. So, Lu Yu left with the old man again. From beginning to end, Lu Yu said nothing and even covered his face. There is nothing you can do if it is exposed. You are going to die directly. It will be on the front page of tomorrow's news. Shocked, Human Emperor Lu Yu actually wants to buy a beautiful doll. But fortunately, he finally left. How do you feel? Lu Yu looked at the old man and the doll that had been activated beside the old man with a serious face. Chapter 0565 Walking on a Strange Road, you will understand this. How do you feel? Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu Shui. Chapter 747. The old man nodded. Yes, this doll is very lifelike, and the old man likes it very much. As he spoke, the old man poked the smart robot's doll. Master, the robot girlfriend will serve you in everything. The robot was fully activated and bent slightly towards the old man. Suddenly, the majestic career line was clearly visible. Lu Yu could clearly see it, and the old man's eyes straightened. Very good. Being able to help the elderly regain their second youth is a blessing of immeasurable merit. Lu Yu was very satisfied. The old man was even more happy. After studying it for a while, he spoke out. From now on, you will be called Xiahua. Good master. The robot nodded. Lu Yu. Little flower. This is so classy. After returning to the old man's hut, the old man looked at Lu Yu. After talking for so long, have you found a way to break the situation? I have to ask you this. Lu Yu's expression became serious. He came here just to ask the old man a question. After Supreme, what realm is left? This question made the old man think deeply. You asked this question very well. The old man's expression became unusually serious. He stood up and turned his back to Lu Yu. In fact, after the Supreme, there is no realm. No realm. Lu Yu was stunned. To be honest, he did think so at one time. During the long years of attempts in the old world, I was still unable to take that crucial step and was trapped in the Supreme Realm. Systematically but clearly marked. After the Supreme, there are still two realms. This is what troubles Lu Yu the most. Now the old man also tells himself that after the Supreme, there is no realm. As if he guessed what Lu Yu was thinking, the old man glanced at him with a smile. There is no realm after the Supreme, which means there is no realm for warriors. What's the meaning? Lu Yu was confused. The old man shook his head. It's very simple, because the Supreme is the end of the power of this universe, and this universe was created, do you understand? Historically, there have been many beings who have reached the Supreme level, but I have never heard of anyone taking another step. At most, it was only half a step like yours. After that, I didn't know how to continue because there was no way ahead. The old man's words made Lu Yu fall into deep thought. This meaning is quite easy to understand. Supreme is the pinnacle of power in this universe. And the upper limit of this universe is set by the strange source. Therefore, after reaching the Supreme, there is no way out. But the root of the problem is, I have broken taboos all the way, these rules should not be able to restrain me. But why can't I take that step? At this time, the old man also looked at Lu Yu with a smile. There is actually a reason why your kid is stuck in this realm. No matter how many taboos you break, you have to be clear that the path you take is always the path of a warrior. The upper limit of your strength is right here. Do you understand? The old man's words stunned Lu Yu. The upper limit of a warrior's strength is right here, can't it be raised any further? You mean, let me stop practicing martial arts? Lu Yu asked. When the old man heard this, his face suddenly fell. Are you stupid? If you don't practice martial arts, why would you practice martial arts? Then it will be useless. What do you mean? Lu Yu admitted that he was a little confused about what the old man said. The old man looked at Lu Yu with a look that hated iron. The path of a warrior is not going to work, so you have to find a way to take a weird path. Weird road. Lu Yu was stunned for a moment. You mean, trying to find a way to follow the path of their creator? That's pretty much it? It's up to you to realize it. The old man waved his hand. The pinnacle of the warrior's journey is right here. If you can't find a way to break through, I'm afraid you'll have to get stuck here. Lu Yu fell into deep thought. What the old man said is actually not unreasonable. If you can't beat it, just join. The path of a warrior itself was born under the laws of the universe. It can be said to be a path shaped by a strange source. Now, Lu Yu has reached the end of this road. But if you want to use this to fight against the strange source, I'm afraid it will be a bit difficult. Lu Yu could only do it. Without the source of the strangeness, kill those strange giants by yourself. But obviously, it is impossible for the other party not to take action. And if you want to take a weird path. What road is that? Road to destruction? Destroy everything in the world? Lu Yu frowned. He wanted to ask the old man, but found that the old man had left at some point. I'm leaving, you kid can figure it out on your own. With that said, the old man hugged the robot and disappeared. Lu Yu. NM is amazing. Secretly complaining in his heart, Lu Yu refocused his attention on his previous idea. The path of destruction is definitely not advisable. I am not a weird extremist who thinks about how to destroy the world every day. So which way to go? Lu Yu was thinking about it, and a scene from the old world suddenly appeared in his mind. My thoughts returned to the planet that was developing at a rapid pace. Destroy, create. Creator. Unconsciously, Lu Yu connected these 3 points. Something came to mind. The source of the strangeness seemed to claim to be the creator before? Created one universe after another? If so, why don't you choose to create? Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu. Chapter 748. The road of creation is far better than the road of destruction. Just like before in the old world, I just did it unintentionally, and the result was that a civilization was accidentally born. Became their creator. If this is possible, why can't I try it myself? Become the creator of the entire universe. A little inspiration burned in Lu Yu's mind. He must admit that this is very feasible. If you can really take this path, then even if the universe is destroyed by strange things, you can move all living things to the old world. There will be its own perfect rules. If Wei Wei wants to intervene at that time, it will be impossible. Unless they kill themselves first. But in the universe he created, he is immortal. After imagining everything in his mind, Lu Yu's eyes became extremely excited. Old man. I understand, old man. Lu Yu came to the hut and kept knocking on the door. In the hut, the old man who was about to unbutton the robot's clothes was stunned. Isn't it? I'm just going to fool this kid so that I can do some serious business, and this kid will realize it now. The old man is stupid. Chapter 0566, this girl has a wide range of interests and weird sieges. Are you enlightened now? The old man said that his people were stupid. Ahem, did you realize something? The old man opened the door, leaned against the door, and looked at Lu Yu with a smile. Lu Yu glanced inside and said with a smile. Of course I have realized what you said, old man, and followed the weird path. Old man. Ahem, then you kid, take action quickly and don't be utopian, the old man said with a serious face. Lu Yu shook his head. I think it would be better to discuss the feasibility with you, Lu Yu said. He didn't say this randomly. After all, the old man has lived a long life, and his opinions must have certain reference significance. But the problem is, the old man is in a hurry now. I even took off my pants, and you told me that you wanted to talk to me at night. Boy Lu, you are now a supremely powerful person. You should learn to think for yourself. But a great man once said that only by standing on a giant can you see further. I'm not a giant. Then what are you? I'm a dwarf. Bang. The door was closed by the old man, and a thick layer of dust fell on the threshold. In the hut, the old man snorted coldly. This kid only thinks about disturbing people. As he spoke, the old man looked at the intelligent robot sitting on the bed with shining eyes. Outside the hut, Lu Yu touched the ashes on his nose. This is really a blow to the nose. Isn't this too disrespectful to the old man? Why don't you discuss it with him yourself? Ruthless. Lu Yu had no choice but to leave here first. Appearing in the outer universe, Lu Yu looked deep in thought. To be honest, he still wanted to find someone to study this issue together. After thinking about it, Lu Yu thought of goddess Xiantian. That girl is from the 8th era and is very old. You should know something, right? With this in mind, Lu Yu took a step forward. The next moment, the stars changed, and he appeared on the Great Wall of Moon. Human Emperor. Goddess Xiantian was obviously very surprised when she saw the elusive Lu Yu. Lu Yu nodded and looked at Goddess Xiantian with a serious expression. Sister Goddess, I want to have an in-depth discussion with you about something. Deeper? Okay. Goddess Xiantian looked happy. Lu Yu. Although he felt something was wrong, he still took the Xiantian goddess away from the moon god wall temporarily and drew a space next to it. In this space, they can see outside, but people outside cannot see them. Oh my god. Is this the legendary magic mirror? Do you want to irritate the emperor like this? Goddess Suanation's face turned red with excitement. Lu Yu's expression immediately became even worse. Good guy. This girl has a wide range of interests. Surprised in his heart, Lu Yu took a deep breath and looked at the Xiantian goddess. Sister Goddess, Human Emperor, there is no need to say more. I have been waiting for this day for a long time. Goddess Xiantian looked shy and put her slender hands on her lapels. Lu Yu. Slow. As soon as he finished speaking, Goddess Xiantian pulled her clothes apart a little, and then looked at him doubtfully. What's wrong? Seeing this doubtful look, Lu Yu sweated slightly on his forehead. This girl is so straightforward. Slow down, I'm not the kind of person you think, and I'm not here to do what you think. Lu Yu explained. Xiantian goddess frowned slightly. Then what do you want to do? Do something else. To put it bluntly, we still have to do it? No, I just want to ask you something. It's okay. My relatives haven't been here for many years, so don't worry. With that said, Goddess Xiantian continued to take off her clothes. Lu Yu. Human Emperor, why don't you look happy? Goddess Suanation's expression turned cold. To put it bluntly, you still dislike me, right? Lu Yu remained silent. Human Emperor, what evil have you done? Couldn't you have accepted it from her back then? Do you have to stay until now for me to suffer? Really, Sister Goddess, I just want to ask you something. Ask. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Mu. Chapter 749. Goddess Xiantian snorted coldly. Lu Yu nodded and threw out his previous thoughts. Goddess Xiantian listened carefully for a moment, then looked puzzled. Human Emperor, didn't you take this step a long time ago? Did you take this step back then? Lu Yu was a little surprised when he heard what Goddess Xiantian said. Is the Human Emperor so fierce? As early as the 8th heaven, was it already above the Supreme? Bullshit. At this moment, Lu Yu could only shout Naiubi. It just made him a little bit scolded. You've already taken this step, and you still don't know where you are hanging on? After taking a deep breath and calming down a little, Lu Yu spread his hands. Now, can you believe that I am no longer the Human Emperor? Well, that's a bit interesting. Human Emperor, you deprived yourself of your cultivation just to lie to me. Do you hate me so much? Goddess Xiantian said with tears in her beautiful eyes. Lu Yu. Absolutely amazing. Okay, Human Emperor, what are you going to do now? Goddess Xiantian wiped her tears and looked at Lu Yu. Lu Yu looked at the Xiantian goddess who was finally looking normal and breathed a sigh of relief. My idea is very simple, just like what I said before. Follow the path of creation. Right. Lu Yu nodded. Goddess Xiantian fell into deep thought, then glanced at Lu Yu. Shouldn't you have much more experience in this kind of thing than me? But I'm really not a human emperor. Ha, let's see how long you can keep pretending. Goddess Xiantian sneered, and then said lightly. It's actually simple. If you want to take this path, just go straight and use your laws to try to evolve a world. But the problem is that the universe has no place for you to do it now. The meaning of Goddess Xiantian is obviously very clear. Even if Lu Yu wanted to take this path, there was no place in the universe for him to try. This universe is actually an owned land, unless Lu Yu can create a universe on his own. But what Goddess Xiantian didn't know was, Lu Yu, there really is a place for him to try. That's the best thing. Lu Yu had a smile on his face. He has regained his confidence now. Take this path of creation. Go try to change the old world. If we can truly follow this path, we can transform the old world into a place suitable for the creatures in the current universe. When the time comes, even if all the weirdness attacks, will he be able to transfer most of the living beings into the old universe? In the old universe, it would be impossible for their tentacles to be stretched out. Lu Yu had planned everything in his heart. He was very happy inside. Sister Goddess, you really did me a big favor. Oh? Then Human Emperor, aren't you going to repay me? Goddess Xiantian looked at Lu Yu with a smile. Lu Yu. An awkward yet polite smile appeared on his face. Next time I'll do it, next time I'll do it. Before Lu Yu could finish speaking, a terrifying wave suddenly came from outside. Weird, the city is under siege. Chapter 0567 The Strange Source Takes Action, The Golden Figure. Weird siege. The attack came very suddenly. Without any warning, the endless black mist rolled in from outside the Great Wall of Luna. In this black mist, dozens of demon-like figures were blurred. Weird giant. And at one time, more than 10 people came. This shocked the entire Moon God Wall. You know, the Human Emperor and the Goddess Xiantian just disappeared. In the hidden space, Goddess Xiantian looked outside with an ugly expression. This weird offensive is huge. Lu Yu nodded. Goddess Xiantian looked at him. Human Emperor, are you sure? What confidence? Block them. Then you underestimate me. Lu Yu shook his head and smiled. To be honest, these strange giants are nothing to him. The source of the strangeness cannot be found. Killing them by yourself is just a snap of your fingers. With Xiantian Goddess, Lu Yu returned to the Great Wall. Great Wall of Luna. Many super galaxy cluster masters guarding the Great Wall breathed a sigh of relief when they saw Lu Yu and Xiantian Goddess returning. In their view, this was completely a strange and long-planned enemy attack. As soon as the Human Emperor and Goddess Xiantian left, they directly launched an offensive. Human Emperor, what should we do next? A chief domain master looked at Lu Yu. Lu Yu looked at the black fog ahead. Just watch. After the words fell, Lu Yu appeared outside the Great Wall in an instant under the shocked gazes of everyone. The Fuxi sword appeared in his hand, and Lu Yu slashed it down without any nonsense. Boom. In an instant, the endless black mist seemed to be split into two halves. Between the vertical and horizontal sword light, countless strange creatures died. The first thing to bear the brunt was a strange giant that turned into black mist and disintegrated, unable to condense again. This power stunned everyone on the entire Great Wall. Then they burst into earth-shattering cheers. There is no way, the Human Emperor is acting too fiercely. Kill a strange giant with one sword. The other party didn't even have a chance to hide. And the beautiful eyes of Xiantian Goddess also flashed with brilliance. This man is still the same as before. Outside the Great Wall, the remaining 10 strange giants all showed fear in their eyes. They had heard that a terrifying existence had appeared on the Great Wall. but they did not expect that it would be so terrifying. Global High Martial Arts, copy SSS-level talents at the beginning. Author, Yunzhong Shui. Chapter 750. One sword, a giant fell? Then the Lord sent these people here, isn't it to die? Noticing this, the giants retreated slightly. Lu Yu didn't care about this. As long as the giants exist, no matter how many the other party sends, he can kill them. Without hesitation, Lu Yu made a move. A sword light fell down and went towards a giant. The giant was about to die, and suddenly, a figure appeared in front of him. Boom! The man stretched out a hand. In an instant, the palm and the sword light collided, and a terrifying wave erupted. The whole universe seemed to be torn apart at this moment. Everything seemed to be over. That kind of power seemed to destroy the world. In the end, the sword light dissipated. The figure was blurred by the law, and just looked at Lu Yu quietly. Weird source. Lu Yu narrowed his eyes. He didn't expect that the other party could actually leave the Bone Throne. As if noticing the change in Lu Yu's expression, the strange source looked at Lu Yu quietly, and then laughed. You didn't expect that I would really show up. I really didn't expect it, but what do you want to do? Lu Yu looked at the other party calmly. The smile on the strange source's face faded. My purpose of coming here is very simple, just to tell you that you can't stop everything. As soon as the voice fell, the strange source suddenly attacked. One hand reached out towards the moon god Great Wall. Lu Yu immediately slashed out a sword. But the opponent's palm actually disintegrated in mid-air, turned into millions of palms, and continued to move forward. Seeing this, Lu Yu's face turned slightly cold. The next moment, he slashed out a sword, which also turned into millions of swords. With a bang, the sword light and the palm collided together. At this moment, the sword light and the palm both disintegrated into the power of the law, entangled. These power of the law are the power of the law of Lu Yu and the strange source, and they are now fighting. But what Lu Yu didn't expect was, without seeing how the weird source made a move, the next moment, the space around the Great Wall suddenly collapsed. The void appeared, and in the void, a big hand stretched out and fell on the Great Wall. Lu Yu wanted to stop it again, but it was too late. Boom! A huge fracture appeared directly on the moon goddess Great Wall. A section of the Great Wall was shattered by the giant hand. Several general domain masters and countless warriors on the Great Wall died on the spot. Is this what you call shelter? The weird source smiled at Lu Yu. There was no expression on Lu Yu's face. Just now, the other party bypassed him and attacked the Great Wall. Lu Yu wanted to attack, but he was powerless. The other party's strength is stronger than his, that's for sure. Not in the realm of the Supreme, but a higher level. Although he couldn't kill himself, it was easy to kill others. This was something Lu Yu never expected. He thought at first that the weird source could not leave the Bone Throne. Now it seems that I was too naive. Taking a deep breath, Lu Yu looked at the weird source. Do you think these are useful to me? It's useless, but if I can't kill you, I can kill the people around you. The weird source showed a wanton smile on his face. Boom! The next moment, the goddess Xiantian, who was originally standing on the Great Wall, appeared between the two. For example, her entire body is made up of the matter of this universe. I can easily kill her, just like this. The weird source's voice fell. In an instant, half of the hair of the goddess Xiantian was gone, and it fell in the air. The next moment, these hairs decomposed into countless microscopic particles. Then, the weird source snapped his fingers. Immediately, these hairs that had disappeared reappeared on the body of the goddess Xiantian, looking as if nothing had happened. See, this is the power of creation and destruction, you don't understand what it represents at all. The weird source seemed to be very intoxicated in this feeling. Seeing this, Lu Yu clenched his fists tightly. And the goddess Xiantian also turned pale. I didn't have any strength to struggle at all. And the weird source also looked at Lu Yu. To be honest, I really admire you. Join us and fight for a better world together, isn't it good? But you just don't listen. Alas, it's really a distressing thing. As the weird source said, a light curtain suddenly appeared in front of him. Just like this little girl, ZZZZ, the remnant of the 8th heavenly court period, and you have a close relationship? You should not want to see her die, right? Interesting. As the weird source finished speaking, Lu Yu's eyes widened instantly. The person displayed in the light curtain was Lu Ling. What do you want to do? I don't want to do anything, I just want to tell you that it's easy for me to kill her. It's nothing more than paying a small price, but can you bear this pain? The weird source's voice was playful, and then full of temptation. Trust me and join me, or you can choose to stand aside and watch. I will give you the opportunity to enter a new world. You can bring everyone you want with you into the new world. Isn't that good? If you continue, you will only regret it. The strange source appeared beside Lu Yu at some point and smiled. Hearing this, Lu Yu was silent. He was really silent. He didn't know how to speak. He was indeed not afraid of the other party now. But what about Xiaoling? What about Lan Xing? What about Lan? There are many other people, what about them? Are they really going to do what he said? Bring the people they want to bring into the new world. Lu Yu's expression was a little dazed. I know you are burdened, but it's nothing. This is the general trend. I am just the tip of the iceberg, you see. After struggling to the end, you will find that you are powerless to change everything. It is better to choose to obey. The voice of the strange source is still ringing. And Lu Yu is even more confused. What is the reason for doing so much? Isn't it just to want the people around you and yourself to live well?